What's going on, everybody? This is Jack with the Trading Tribe. Excited for another video today where we're going to be looking at a recap of a trade I had. Hopefully this can glean some lessons learned for you as well when watching this and help you with reviewing your trades as well. So feel free to like and subscribe to the channel just so I know this is valuable on your side, but we'll look at a trade I made and some lessons I learned about the trade. For today, we're going to be looking at natural gas. So that is my bread and butter. I am a futures trader, but I do day trade the natural gas future. So the ticker symbol for that is /NG. And then for this month, it's actually Z22 on Thinkorswim, at least for December, since we're always trading that front month or that month right after the current month for futures. If we look at natural gas, right, today is the 14th of November, and we have been really in an uptrend all day. So we have been grinding higher, and in Thinkorswim, I've shown my trades just to show you where my entry was. But essentially, what I was looking for was a breakout. So we'll notice, we found a pretty nice floor here around midnight on the 13th, and we essentially built in a bottom, and then we essentially just started an uptrend. And we'll notice with natural gas, it usually moves pretty clean. So if we put in our price level, right, we can notice that there was a ceiling that actually broke, and then that ceiling was respected as a floor. So support and resistance is actually very clean with natural gas, which is one of the reasons I like it so much. And we'll notice, right, it did the same sort of thing next, right? So it built in a ceiling right around 6.14, and then it broke out of that ceiling and came right back and respected that area as a floor. So essentially, these kind of signals were showing me that we could have another breakout, right, and come back to that floor and respect that as a floor. So when I woke up, right, I usually wake up at 5:30 Central to understand really what the price was doing overnight. I noticed that there was kind of a zone of highs building in, just like it had earlier in the morning, and I noticed a breakout. So there was actually kind of a few breakouts, but I noticed a breakout, and then I actually entered at 6.245, which is right here in the middle of the zone. So on this red candle, when it came back to our zone, I got in right about here where the cursor is, and that's what this trading signal is actually showing as well. So I bought into natural gas, and the nice thing about Thinkorswim is we can use the drawing tool to actually measure the trade. So in this case, I was taking a trade that could potentially make 62 ticks, which we can see in that little rectangle. So I could have potentially made $620 per contract on this trade, and we can see I traded with one contract. For risk to reward, I usually make sure it's at least a 2-to-1. In this case, I had a stop loss for about 30 ticks, making it a little bit higher than a 2-to-1. But this was my entry for the trade, and it was essentially just a breakout retest off of this zone of highs. And in this case, right, if we fast forward a little bit, it actually failed, right? So it actually stopped me out. So we'll notice it sold me out at 213, which is right below this 200-day moving average. So this is actually kind of a perfect lesson for today. I really wanted to have a session on just looking at a loss and how to take a loss and how to learn from a loss as well. And in trading, there's really two different types of losses. There's a loss like this, right, that follows a plan. You don't move your stop loss, right? You keep everything intact, and the trade just doesn't work like this trade here. There's also bad losses, right, where maybe you have FOMO and you chase a trade, or you move your stop loss, or worst case, maybe you don't even put a stop loss in. And so there's definitely bad losses as well, and we definitely want to look back after our trades and categorize those so that we can really learn from those ones that were unintentional. But in this case today, right, we stuck to a risk to reward that made sense, right? We had a great entry. We had a stop loss that kind of made sense as well. It was below this moving average, which also acted as a support multiple times throughout the day. And at the end of the day, right, the trade just didn't work, which is totally fine, right? When trading, we have to understand, right, that even if you're a really advanced trader with a pretty high win rate, right, you're never going to win all the time. So for me, I'm usually about 70%. So I'm losing once or twice a week, always, and I always have really. So you have to get very comfortable with the losses. And at the end of the day, right, if we get current, we actually did see a pop. So we were very close to making money today. Obviously, the momentum on the buying side has just slowed down. We're now seeing kind of the lower high, which is a big signal. So there's definitely not going to be as many buyers, but it actually did end up making a higher low. So we'll see, right? The trade's looking a lot weirder now and a lot weaker now. So we always want to be careful. But I did think this was a really valuable opportunity to really look at how I took a trade on natural gas and how I even deal with losses when trading. Hopefully this was valuable. Thank you guys so much for the time today, and we will be back at it soon with another session.